Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Camille and I read and review clean and Christian fiction, and today we are going to talk about all the books that I read in May. So I'm going to be doing this a little bit differently than I usually do. I decided I wanted to try organizing the books I read by star rating, so we're going to go from lowest to highest, but before we start with lowest, we're going to go through all the books that I reread in May, and there were 5 of them. And I'm getting an email. I don't know who that is actually. The first book that I reread in May was Flameheart by Dalton and Emily Beckett. It was almost as good as, if not better, than the first time I read it. I have this bookmark, and I'll see if they are still available, and if they are, I can try to link it in the description. Well, they had this lady on Instagram make this bookmark for their book, so it has like the little pen nib crystal, and then it's backwards, but you get the gist of it, right? Okay, hold on. There we go. So it has that. I think it looks really pretty when it's hanging off my bookshelf. Anyways, so this book is about Aurelia, and she is the oldest daughter, and after her grandfather dies, she accidentally brings her fictional best friend into the real world with her. They are trying to figure out why that happened. So honestly, that's pretty much, I feel like, all I need to tell you. It's really good. I reread this book because I have the arc for book 2 that's coming out next month, and I wanted to read it this month, so I wanted this one fresh in my mind because it's been about a year since I read it. I listened to the Screwtape Letters by C.S. Lewis. I actually started listening to this book in January, and I listened to most of it, and I only had like a couple hours left, so I finished it in May. The Screwtape Letters is about this demon named Screwtape, and he's writing to his nephew Wormwood, giving him advice on how to tempt a human man. It just has a lot of good insight, and I feel like is this the second or third time I've read it? Now I can't remember, but it just has a lot of good insight and good, things to think about. You definitely have to be paying attention though, because if you're not paying attention, you might miss something. But I just felt like it had a lot of good wisdom. I highlighted this passage, and I think I'm gonna read it to you because this is probably like my favorite part of the whole book. And so it says, "As he saw you, he also saw them. I know how it was. You reeled back dizzy and blinded, more hurt by them than he had ever been by bombs. The degradation of it, that this thing of earth and slime could stand upright and converse with spirits before whom you, a spirit, could only cower. Perhaps you had hoped that the awe and strangeness of it would dash his joy. But that is the cursed thing. The gods are strange to mortal eyes, and yet they are not strange. He had no faintest conception till that very hour of how they would look, and even doubted their existence. But when he saw them, he knew that he had always known them, and realized what part each one of them had played at many an hour in his life, when he had supposed himself alone, so that now he could say to them, one by one, not 'Who are you?' but 'So it was you all the time.'" I just think that's, because it's talking about angels, so I just think that's really interesting. I'm not going to read any more, but you should definitely read it. There's lots of good wisdom in this book. I reread These Hallowed Binds by A.M. Dalen. Now, I reread this book because she's been marketing the Imperial Guardian saga again, because she's almost done writing and editing Eventide, so she's getting back into marketing and drafting outlines for the rest of the series, so I'm really excited. So I felt like I had to read it again, and I added even more tabs than I did the first time around, and I just love it so much. So this book is about Noriel, and Noriel lives in this village, and her father was killed by the lake. She saw the lake pull him down into the water, but nobody believes her. They're all gaslighting her, thinking it didn't happen, into thinking, oh, you're just crazy. It was just stress, all these things. And so she goes out to prove that the lake actually did kill her father. And then she gets rescued out of the lake by this guy named Calden, and he is a warden, and he tells her that El Alam, which is God in this series, has called her to be part of Calden's bind. So she goes with him to find out what her calling is. And it's really good. And there's 2 books out so far. I think it's going to be 5-book series, I think. So this one is so good. It was so good. I loved it more than the first time I read it. Probably because I read the second one now. And I'm just like, oh, they were all so happy and carefree. Nobody, yeah, if you've read the second book, you know what I'm talking about. And then my next reread was Liar in the Hollow Court by Bethany Atazadeh. I'm not going to tell you guys much about this book because I talked about it in my April wrap-up. And yes, I did already read it again because I backed the Kickstarter and I didn't know I was going to get an audiobook, but I got an email saying, your audiobook is here. And I was like, excuse me? So I listened to the audiobook and it was really good, and I still love it as much as I did the first time, and I highly recommend you check it out. I don't know if the audiobook is available on all platforms yet, but the book is out now. I think it's on Kindle Unlimited, so you should definitely go read it. Also, this is the special edition paperback cover from Kickstarter, so this is not what the trade paperbacks and Kindle covers look like, so I can put a picture on the screen of what the traditional cover looks like so you guys don't get confused. And then the last book I reread was The Not So Neutral Zone by Susan and Sarah May Warren. I reread this book and I reread it and I annotated this book. I don't know how well you guys can see, but we have lots of annotations, lots of tabs. And I loved it so much. It's so good. I talked about this book in my February wrap-up, I think. So I'll link that here so you guys can go watch my review. It's so good. This is one of the best romances I think I've ever read. Like Christian romances I think I've ever read. It's that good, you guys. Now we are going to start off the actual review part of this video with maybe probably kind of a controversial opinion. So we're going to go on to our 3 stars. And there's only one of them. I read Seeking Persephone by Sarah M. Eden, and I gave it 3 stars, obviously, because it's in this category. I was reading it, well, here, I'll tell you the whole story. My husband and I were looking for a show, and I was like, I've been wanting to watch this show, and it's all over Instagram, and everybody says it's, like, really good. And he's like, okay. And I wanted to read the book first, but I just decided, oh, it'll be fine. If I like the show, I'll just read the book. So we watched the show, and we really, really liked it. There were a couple parts where we're like, oh, that was a little cheesy. But overall, it was really good, and we really enjoyed it, and we had fun watching it. So after that, I was like, well, I'm going to read the book now. And I think I maybe should have waited a couple months after I watched the show to read the book, because I was like skimming through chapters, because I was like, this is literally like word for word, scene for scene what's in the show. Quinn, stop. Quinn, don't do that. Which is fine. No. But I was like, I just don't really care that much about the show or about the book. I honestly enjoyed the show more. I felt like the plot was kind of disjointed, and I felt like we were just trying to get from trope to trope to trope instead of having like an actual plot. Like I felt like the tropes were just the plot, and I don't really care for that. I also was really mad at Adam in the book, well, in the show too, but in the book especially, because I was like, there was just a lot of miscommunication between him and Persephone, and I was just like, I just don't like miscommunication, and it really bugs me. And I know sometimes like people do miscommunicate, and they do, and it's true. But I'm also just like, you just need to be adults. Like, are you adults? Because like you're acting like children. You're acting like teenagers. And I'm just like, I just didn't really care for it. So that's my probably most unpopular opinion in this video. I just didn't really like it. I liked the show better. I'll watch the show again. I probably won't read the book again. I'm not sure if I'll read the rest of the series. I think I will, mostly because I just want to read the book with, is it Harry is his friend? I guess I should tell you a little bit about the book. It's Seeking Persephone is basically like a Regency retelling of Hades and Persephone and like Beauty and the Beast put together. That's all you really need to know. So if you enjoyed this book, that's great. I'm happy for you. And if you agree with me or have anything else to add in the comments, like, do let me know. Maybe I just missed something, but I just didn't feel like it lived up to all the hype that it gets on social media. And maybe it just wasn't for me. And you know what? That's okay. That's okay. Okay, so next we have our 3.5 stars. And I only have one book in this category as well, and that is An Honorable Love by Audra Wells, I think. I don't have the cover out. I should be looking at it, but I'm not. And I liked it. It was funny. It was good. It was a good Regency romance. It was clean. There was no faith content. This book is about Leonard and Honora. This is book, is it 5 or 6 in The Gentleman's Gamble? It's the last book in the series. So we find out who lost and who has to pay everybody all the money because he didn't get married before everybody else. And it was good. But I probably wouldn't read it again. Honestly, there's probably only like one of those books in like the whole series that I'd actually want to read again. I thought they were fun, but I just felt like they were just kind of empty and just kind of like, oh yes, fluffy fluff, which is not a bad thing, but I was just kind of like wanted a little more out of it, I guess. But that's probably on me, and I probably should have realized that they would just be fluffy Regency romances. So that's probably just on me, but I thought it was funny. I liked their dynamic, and I thought they got along, but I just didn't love it. I was like, I'll probably never read this again. So it was 3.5 stars. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't amazing. You know what I mean? Okay, moving on to 4 stars. I'm trying to go through these quicker so I don't spend too much time on these. The first book in our 4-star category was Conrad by Susan May Warren. This is book 2 in the Minnesota Kingston series, and you guys, I love this series. Every book just gets better and better. I loved it so much. I love Conrad, and I loved Penelope, and I thought they were so fun. So this book is about Conrad. He's a hockey player in the Blue Ox team. He's a professional hockey player. This series is called the Blue Ox Boys, and it comes after the Minnesota Kingstons, but it's about hockey players on the same team as Conrad. He's on the Blue Ox hockey team, and his reputation is not the best. And so his agent tells him that he needs a girlfriend. And so does they have a contract? No, I can't remember. But so we enter in Penelope, who is a murder podcaster, and she is trying to solve her brother-in-law's murder. And things happen. There's lots of suspense and intrigue, and people almost die, but it's really fun. There was a couple elements that I didn't quite understand, but I think that's because I read it too fast, so that's on me. But it was a solid 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was really good. Okay, and then the next 4-star is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, the dramatized full cast audio books from Audible. I gave it 4 stars because I don't quite like the plot of the Chamber of Secrets as much as the first one, but I still really liked it. So in this one, he's gone back to Hogwarts, which is what they do. I mean, at the beginning of every book, they go back to Hogwarts, and then the books take place in... You cannot have the fuzzy microphone thing, Quinn. I know that's what you were looking at. And it takes place in Hogwarts. And so in this one, basically somebody is hurting students, and there are rumors that the Chamber of Secrets has been opened, and that it can only be opened by the true heir of Slytherin. So Harry and Ron and Hermione are trying to figure out what's going on. And I liked it. I liked it a lot. But I think I don't like it as much as the first one because of the element in the Chamber of Secrets. The big scary thing, if you know, you know. So, but it was really good. I love the full cast audio editions. They're great. I already finished book 3 this month. I'm super sad, and because it was my favorite one so far, and I already want to listen to it again, and I might end up listening to it again before next month, because I'm listening to one a month because I only get 1 Audible credit a month, and so I'm just using my Audible credit to buy them every month. So it's going to be a while till I finish the series, but then it won't be over too soon. So I really want to binge them, but I'm also like enjoying pacing myself, because I'm like, if you read them all at once, they'll be over too soon. I'm really tempted because they're all on Kindle Unlimited, and I'm just like, but I want to experience them with the full cast audio edition. So if you haven't listened to those and you like Harry Potter, you should. Also, if you've been wanting to read Harry Potter and you never have, you should give those books a try, because I think they're really good. Oh, I have a physical book to hold up. The next book to hold up is Not What We Pictured by I said that really fast. By Becca Kinzer. This book is about McKenna and Nate. And McKenna is trying to get her sister proposed to and engaged so she can move on with her life, because she's quite a bit older than her sister and she's been her guardian for a while. And the proposals keep going like horribly wrong, like every single time, in quite humorous ways. This is one of those rom-coms that everything is so funny it's slightly ridiculous. So if you don't like slightly ridiculous humor, I do not recommend Becca Kinzer. But it's a fun palate cleanser. I don't want every book I read to be like this, but it's a fun palate cleanser. So then we have, so McKenna's trying to get her sister engaged. And we have Nate, who is just trying to have a relaxing summer. But whenever they meet, for some reason, McKenna loses her cool, because her sister and her boyfriend are about to see her. So she kisses Nate, so it's a distraction. Well, that doesn't work, but anyway, she puts the engagement ring in Nate's pocket. Don't ask questions, we don't know why. And then forgets to tell him that she put it there. And then he goes home to Tennessee, because he was in Nebraska, and so he goes home to Tennessee, which is Nebraska is where McKenna and her sister live. So he was in Nebraska, goes home to Tennessee. He still has a ring in his pants pocket. He changed his pants because they got wet, so they're in his bag, and the airport loses his bag. And so McKenna goes to Tennessee to try to find the ring and find Nate. And they end up having to wait around for his luggage to be found. And this small town airport is like the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard of. And it's really funny. And the scenes in the airport were super funny. So that's the story. She ends up getting roped into this club, kind of, with all these old elderly people and they have all these town meetings, which the town meetings were the least favorite part. They were so painful. They were my least favorite part of the whole thing. It was so painful. But anyways, it was funny. I gave it 4 stars. I enjoyed it. I laughed so much. So many times, especially the first 10 chapters, because they're meet cute. It's not really cute, but it's hysterical. So if you're in the mood for a book that's definitely going to make you laugh and you don't mind some ridiculous humor, this is the one for you. It's really fun. Okay, and then the last 4-star I read was Sincerely, The Secretary of Doom by Jennifer Kropf. So I buddy read this book with a friend of mine on Instagram, and she finished it way before me because I was just not getting into it. So it took me a long time to get into it. And this book is the second book in the Welcome to Fae Cafe series. It's a series where these Fae have come into the human realm, and they are trying to survive in the human realm. They run this coffee shop, and basically it's just these Fae learning about humans and trying to fit in with the humans, but they're not very good at doing that because they like to play tricks on each other, and they're very serious and all the things. So this book is about Moore, and he is in the first book, and I gave this first book 5 stars. I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. I was a little bit let down by the second one because I thought it was going to be just as funny as the first one, and I didn't think it was quite as funny, so that was sad. Anyways, this book is about Moore, and he has a problem. This other fae is trying to kill him. They've had like this rivalry going on for forever, pretty much. So he's trying to get rid of him. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really want to say anything else because it's a spoiler. But I enjoyed it. I would say if you liked Welcome to Fae Cafe, you probably like this one. I personally didn't like it quite as much, but I'm still planning on reading the other 2 books in the series just because I love these like characters and I just think their antics are just so funny. And Quinn, don't mess with those. Quinn, I know what you're thinking. So it's a really fun book series. I didn't enjoy as much as book 1, but hey, that's okay. Not all books can be 5 stars, and you know what? It's okay. I still enjoyed it. And the audiobook was pretty good. I ended up switching to the audiobook, and it was pretty good. Coffee. And if you're wondering why there's a napkin around my coffee cup, it's because the lady at the coffee shop drizzled caramel all down the side of my cup, so it was like super sticky. So that's why that's there. Okay. Moving on to 4.5 stars. The first one is Beastly Dreams by Gabrielle Landy. This book is part of the, what is the series? I think it's I'll look it up. Twisted Fairy Tales. I'll find it. Hold on. It's part of the Displaced Fairy Tales series. So in this series, the authors took 2 fairy tales and like mashed them together in a really unique way. So this one was Sleeping Beauty and Beauty and the Beast, I think. Yeah, because he was grumpy and he was like a beast. He didn't actually turn into a beast. But so this book is about Roan is the guy's name, and Abigail. And Roan is a grumpy tavern owner, and Abigail is his sunshine barmaid. And basically, they get trapped in the tavern together by a Sleeping Beauty curse. That's all I'm going to tell you. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was sweet. It was cute. There was so many like cute moments and like fun dialogue, and it was just like fluffy, fun, like romance in a fairy tale setting, and I just like enjoyed it so much, and I can't wait to read. That was my first Gabrielle Landy book, but I can't wait to read more of them because I really like her writing style because it's just whimsy and lighthearted, and it's just so fun. So it wasn't quite 5 stars. I felt like it was a little too short to give it 5 stars, and I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I loved it. Like, I enjoyed it. So it was fun though. And then the other 5.5 star book I have was The Hunt of Calypso by Erin Phillips. This is book 2 in the Grimoire and Key trilogy. And I finally finished it, guys. I had an arc of this book, and I was supposed to read it before it came out. And I don't remember when it came out, sometime in April, and I did not finish it. And I felt bad, but it's okay. That's probably one of the first times I ever done that. So I enjoyed this one so much more than the first one. I don't know if it was the sailing. They weren't pirates, but it felt like pirates, but they're not pirates. I don't know if it was the sailing. I don't know if it was the romance. I think it was like the romance, the sailing, and the character development. And I can't say any more than that because it's book 2, but this is a retelling of the Count of Monte Cristo. So yes, it was really good. The only reason it's not 5 stars is because it took me so long to finish it, and that's purely my thing. I really liked it though. It could be 5 stars, honestly. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, it's probably 5 stars because I've thought about it several times since I finished it. Usually if I think about it more after I finished it, it's 5 stars. So yeah. Oh, and it came, I got, if you're wondering, like, Camille, your cover looks funny. I bought a discounted paperback from Erin Phillips because I don't mind if it's a little off center. It's a little off center and the spine is a little off, but I don't mind. So I bought a discounted. So I bought it from the author, and she sent me a little sticker that I put in the cover. It's like a little character art of the crew. They're so cute, see? They're so cute. Okay. But it was really good. I highly recommend this series. I can't wait for book 3, although I'm a little nervous for book 3. Especially since I don't really know how the Count of Monte Cristo ends, and I want to read it, but now I'm like, I want to wait until this series is over so I don't spoil anything in this series. So probably I will read that after book 3 comes out, hopefully. Although I know it's like a huge, massive book, so that's a little nerve-wracking. And also, if the light looks kind of funny in here, I'm sorry. It's really overcast outside, and one of my lights in my library is going out, and my husband was gonna fix it. He's gonna fix it soon, but I really needed to get this video out because it's late. So I apologize for the weird lighting. Hopefully it's not too weird. This is actually, I think, the first book I finished in May, but it was The Radiance of the Moon by Ashley Worrell, and this is book 1 in the something about the Hebrides. Hebrides? Is that how you say it? Book 1 in the Hebridean Shield series. I don't know how many books are supposed to be in this series, but I'd be okay if it never ended. I like it. So it is medieval fiction. It's not fantasy, because I think this is based on real events, but I could be wrong. So this book was about Hector and Cara, and Hector fought in the Crusades in the 100 Years' War, I think. He was addicted to alcohol. He is like kind of like a berserker, except for he's Scottish. So, but he kind of acts like that when he gets into war. And so he was addicted to alcohol, and God like saved him and like turned like his life around. And so now he is the chief of a clan, and he is trying to protect his clan from this guy. I don't remember what they call him. I think they call him the Wolf, who wants to like take over the Hebrides Islands. So Hebrides. Is that how you say it? I'm gonna look it up. I don't want to say it wrong. Hebrides. I didn't spell that right. Oh, it looks like pronunciation. No. Hebrides. I was saying it right. Okay. So he is trying to protect his people from this guy who wants to take over the Hebrides. And then we have Cara, and she is Irish, and her husband was really, I don't know if this is a spoiler, but I'm going to say it anyways because it might be kind of a sensitive topic. Her husband was abusive. It's shown a little bit. There you go. And whenever her husband dies, she goes back with her mother-in-law to Scotland. Is this ringing a bell? Ding-a-ling-ding. It has Ruth and Boaz vibes. I'm just going to tell you that much. And I was worried that that would kind of overtake the story, but it ended up just being like a nice little nod to it and not like the whole story. So that was good. Hector and Cara meet. They have a really like sweet first meeting, and she doesn't realize that he's the clan leader. And he's supposed to be engaged to somebody else. So they have to figure that out. And it was really good. I gave it 5 stars. I loved it. I loved the accents are written into the book, and it makes me so happy. It reminds me of the Huntress series, and I really need to get a copy of these books like as soon as I can because they're so good. I'm in the middle of book 2 right now. I'm enjoying it, not quite as much as book 1. I don't think it's going to be 5 stars, but I'm really looking forward to the 3rd book. And then there's a 4th book coming out soon, later this year, I think, so that'll be exciting. And yeah, I'm just really loving it. I love the characters and the world building, and I guess it's not world building, but like the historical accuracy. There's footnotes. So whenever she first introduces like a phrase that you don't know what it is, there's footnotes. So it tells you what it is instead of you just having to like figure it out. It was really helpful. I really loved that. I was like, oh my gosh, I want to read more historical fiction books with footnotes. It was cool. So The Radiance of the Moon, 5 stars. Really great. I highly recommend it. Okay, and then the next book was As Sure as the Sea by Jamie Ogle. And you guys, this book sat on my bookshelf for so long, like a year. And I was so sad because I just couldn't believe I let this book sit on the ground for so long. Sit on the ground. What the heck? No, sit on my bookshelf for so long because I loved it. It was so good. I'm trying to find a quote because I wanted to read it to you. Oh yeah, okay, found it. So this book is about Demetria, and she and her brother are coral divers. And let me tell you, that was so interesting. I loved it. I was like, this is so interesting. Like, I just enjoyed it so much. It was so interesting. And yeah, it was just so good. She and her brother, coral divers. Her brother gets injured, can't dive anymore. And all seems lost. And she's trying to get him home. And it seems like she's not going to be able to do it by herself when this guy literally walks out of the ocean. His name is Nicholas. Literally walks out of the ocean because his boat sunk. And he helps her get her brother home. And if you say, Nicholas, I wonder, St. Nicholas? You'd be correct. So that's really great. And it was just so good. I really enjoyed it. Nicholas and Demi is like her nickname in the book, are so similar and yet so different. And they both have such hard, like, guilt issues that they have to work through. And their relationship and their romance was just so sweet. And I loved it so much. And I loved the nods to St. Nicholas in this book. And it's like an imagining of like what St. Nicholas's origin story might have been. And she took inspiration from like stories about St. Nicholas. So I just think that was so cool. I'm going to read you this quote. So this book also does have some persecution of Christians in it. Just so you know, it is there. So it is Rome. I mean, we're in Ephesus. I don't remember what city we're in. This quote is really good. So this guy is talking to somebody and they're in prison. And he says, "We may suffer here, but there are so many others doing work beyond these walls, spreading hope and life. We are a distraction, allowing them to work undetected. But more than that, if we are not here, then who would sing praises that our guards will hear? How will our guards know the truth if we do not proclaim it to them around them? Our mission is not over because we've been thrown in prison. It has only begun in a new place." So good. So good. So good. So good. Also, I love her brother. He's great. He's a great character. All right. And then we have Aflame by Rosanna M. White. You guys know I'm obsessed with this book series, don't you? I hope you do. Or otherwise I'm not doing a very good job talking about it. But first, if you're looking at this and saying, ooh, those are pretty sprayed edges, Camille. Where did you get those? You can order it directly from Rosanna M. White. I will link it in the description. They have some kind of printer that prints these book edges. So you can order these. They're not a special edition thing. You just have to order them directly from her. It's not that much more than the book is on Amazon, I don't think. And you get cool edges that you can turn face out. Here's book 1. And they look really cool next to each other, don't they? I thought so. So that's just me saying do this. I'm not getting paid to say that at all. I just love these. I just think they're so pretty. This is Aflame. This is book 2 in the Awakened series. And this is about Princess Valkyria. And we are in the kingdom of Fjordlandi. So you just need to imagine, like, you know what I thought of the whole time I was reading this book? You know in Frozen, when Arendelle gets covered in ice because Elsa like freaks out and they're like trying to survive. That's pretty much what this kingdom is like, but they like know how to survive in it. And there is snow magic and ice magic instead of water magic like there is in Awakened. So this book is about Valkyria. She is the 3rd princess. I don't want to say too much because I just want to like let you guys experience these for yourselves. But I will say this book is so good and it's such a like, I'm trying not to put shadows on my face. So I'm going to try to hold it over here. Beautiful picture of the way that God can redeem his people. And that's all I'm going to say. But it was so good. I loved it so much. Not quite as much as Awakened, but I have the audiobook and I'm probably going to listen to it this month. So I will let you know if I loved it more the first time around like I did with Awakened. So we have Valkyria. She's a princess. She has always been deemed pretty and useless because her magic is not as strong as the rest of her family. But tragedy strikes and she has to find power that she never thought she had. And then we have Nicanor. Nicanor? Is that how you say it? The nice thing about these is there's a pronunciation guide. Nicanor. They call him Nick. In the book. It's his nickname. It's his nickname. Oh my gosh, sorry. Okay. And he has always just wanted to study the word, like the scripture, and he wants to be something other than a farmer, but that's not allowed. And so he travels to the capital, and that's where he meets Valkyria, and things go from there. And we get to see Arden and what's his name? Sidon. Ooh, I can't believe I forgot that. We get to see their daughter in this book, and I gotta tell you, she is the most hysterical character I have ever read. And her chemistry with a certain character, let me just say, I cannot wait for book 3, and I can't believe I have to wait till December. I don't know how I'm gonna survive. I'm so sad. I'm gonna have to reread these again before December just to get me through it, because that's so sad that I have to wait that long. Aflame, it was really good. Gave it 5 stars. Obviously, this series is so good. If you haven't read it, please go read it. It's so good. I love it so much. It's probably not for everybody, but I love Rosanna M. White. I have read so many of her historical fiction books, most of them. I love all of them. I don't know if I could pick a favorite. I just love them all. We only have a couple more books to talk about, so hopefully this video is not too long, actually. True Valor by D. Henderson. I gave this book 5 stars, obviously, because it's in the 5-star section. Keep forgetting I don't need to say that anymore. And it was a library book, so I don't have a copy to show you, so I'll just put the cover up. I'm not a huge fan of the cover, but I really like the story inside, so can't judge a book by its cover, Camille. Anyways, this book, what is their names? Hold on. Grace and Bruce. And Grace is a fighter pilot in the military, in the Navy. And then Bruce is a pararescue jumper in the Air Force. Air Force? I think. So he is he rescues downed pilots and stuck behind enemy lines and wrecks and stuff, the ocean and everything. And so it's just a really sweet story about them falling in love, and they send letters to each other back and forth during their deployments, and it's just really sweet. And I had just never read anything like it, and my sister told me to read it, and I'm glad I listened to her because it was so good, and I just loved it. And I really want to read more military fiction now because I so enjoyed it. That was my first one. And it was so good. Yeah, I want to read the rest of the series. I have the other one borrowed right now, so I really want to get to it soon. If that sounds interesting, you should definitely check it out. Okay, the next book I have to talk about is Consecrated by Rosanna M. White. This is technically, it's technically a short novel. I think it's 250 some pages. I can't remember the reading order. Is there a reading order in this book? There's a reading order in the novella, in the book, but I don't have it yet. Okay, so the reading order, I think technically you can read it. I think it technically can be read before this one, so I don't know. I think if you go to Rosanna's website, it'll tell you. But this book was about, oh my goodness, what were their names? We have Sidon and Arden's son. His name is Blue. And Iraja, their love story. I don't want to say much because it's so cute. And then we have, shoot, I'm going to have to look up my reviews because I don't remember their names, but I can just, I'll link my Goodreads review and you can go read it because you'll probably just be able to tell how much I loved it just by reading it. So, Lucy and Koa were the other two characters, and it was just so good. We were in the kingdom of Soltera. It was so good. I just loved it so much. I love the world building. If this series ever ends, I'm going to be so sad. I know it's going to end eventually, but I'm going to be so sad. And I have to tell you guys, there is a bind up of all the short stories and novellas coming this summer from Rosanna M. White, and she's going to have a physical bind up of all 3 so far, and she's going to do the printed edges, selling them on her website, and I already pre-ordered it because I'm so excited for that. So I'm going to find a quote. I just love the faith in these books, the characters. It's so good. And I love Rosanna's writing style. Okay, so here's a quote. I also know that the flowers that bloom after a rain in the Solvara are not less worthy of appreciation because they're gone in a day. They're more valuable for the shortness of their life, more beauty packed into those tiny blooms than in all the flowering cacti that survive the harsh year. That's so good, you guys. I love it so much. So good. I'm so excited for book 3 because Blue and Iraja are going to be in that book. I'm pretty sure what's his sister's name? I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure she's in book 3 too. I'm so excited. Okay. The last book I have to talk to you about today is Love in Tandem by Becca Kinzer. Yes, this is a library book. In case you were wondering, shiny, reflective. Yes, it's my library book. So, I gave this book 5 stars, obviously. It's so funny. I loved it so much. I read this book in an afternoon. I devoured it. I also wasn't feeling good, but I just sat and just read like the whole day. And I was like, what has happened to me? I haven't done this in like months, just sat and read an entire book in one day. It was great. I enjoyed it. It was so fun. So this book is about Charlotte, and she's a music teacher, and she's trying to save her school's music program. And Zach is her ex-fiance's brother. And he's coming to town because his brother's getting married to his ex-girlfriend. It's messy. Anyways, he's coming to town, coming to the wedding. Charlotte shows up at the reception and everybody starts to think that they're dating. And they think it's great. There's no like bad blood or anything. So they think that's great. Then, because of that, Charlotte ropes Zach into this fundraiser to tandem bike like a 200 or 500 bike trail because this eccentric billionaire in their town is like giving away money to a lot of money, like $20,000 or something, to a couple who bikes the whole trail. So that's the premise of this book. It was so fun. I loved it, you guys. I can't recommend it enough. It was so fun. Again, if you don't like ridiculous content and humor, it's probably not going to be your thing. But anyways, I enjoyed it. So it was so fun. I want to buy myself a physical copy of it because I loved it so much. It was just so much. I just had so much fun. That's all I really need to say. But it was just, yeah. It was great. Okay, I think before I kind of log off of here for today, I want to share some of the books that I am currently reading. Well, I'll just give you a list, but there's a lot of them, so you better be prepared. Okay, so the first book I'm in the middle of still is Paragon Games. It's the second book in the Wishing Stars. No, the Agape Bearer Paragon Games. I'll put the covers on the screen. Yeah, I just haven't been sitting down to read it. I really like it. I really want to know what happens. I love Lisa. I love Kylam. Is it Kylam? I just call him Cal. I love Cal and Gaius, and it's just fun. So I'm excited. I just am taking my time because I don't want to finish the books too fast because I know book 5 just came out, so it's going to be a while till the next one comes out. So I don't want to finish them too fast. And then I am reading, like I said, The Splendor of Fire, book 2 in the Hebridean Shield series by Ashley Worrell. I'm liking it. I have like 40% left. I'll probably finish it this week. And I I'm liking it. It's good. I feel like it's going to be a solid 4-star though, because there's just a lot of miscommunication and misunderstanding between the two main characters, which is understandable because the female main character cannot talk. Like, she's lost her ability to speak, so she only communicates with hand signs, and that obviously hinders her ability to communicate with people who don't know her hand signs. But also there's this thing that I know but the characters don't know, and it's driving me nuts because I'm like, how do you not know? And it's like, I need this revelation to come sooner or later, because I'm like, you need to know. Like, I need to see this. Like, I can't say anything else, but I need to see it so bad. So there's also that. And then I started reading Daughter of the Rebellion by Jamie Ogle. I'm not very far into it. I think I'm like 3 chapters into it. So there's that. I was also listening to Resistance by J.L. Knight, and I'm only like not even an hour into that one. So, but I've started it. I started it. And then, you guys, I am reading A Voice in the Wind by Francine Rivers. You guys, this book is heavy stuff. It's heavy stuff. That's probably why I haven't read any more of Daughter of the Rebellion, because it's so similar. And I'm just like, I can only take one crisis at a time. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I don't want to say I'm enjoying A Voice in the Wind, because honestly, life is just terrible for everybody. And I know it's historically accurate, but it's so sad. I'm like, I can only read so much of this book at a time. And then I like gotta read a rom-com or something to like break it up. So I have that book from the library. And then I'm also reading Don't Cross the Blue Line by Susan and Sarah Mae Warren. I'm not super far into this one either. Do you guys see a theme? I just start books because I get excited, but then I don't finish them right away. It's great. This book 2 in the Blue Ox Boys series. I also started A Brood Awakening by Pepper Basham. I'm only like 2 chapters in, but it's funny stuff. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I started the audiobook for Illuminary. I can't remember who it was, but thank you for telling me that Illuminary was included with my Audible membership. That was great. That's what I'm doing, listening to it. I really like the narrator. So I started that. It's super interesting. I really like the narration and the prose, because it's just so pretty, but it's also like, it's very poetic, and I kind of like it. But I also feel like I need to be reading it with my eyeballs. But then if I do that, I feel like I'm going to miss something. So, and then I also am reading Austin, which is book 4 in the Minnesota Kingstons. So I am already enjoying that one, and I just started it. If you got to the end of this video, please leave a book emoji in the comments and let me know what your favorite book in May was, or what you're looking forward to reading in June, or if you have any thoughts about any of these books, let me know. And I'm trying to think. I think that's it. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so YouTube notifies you when I post a new video. I'm trying to post one every week. I'm pretty busy this month, so I don't know if that's going to happen. That's why this video is so late. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at The Cozy Peddler for bookish stuff. And if you're interested in following me on Instagram on my writing account, it is CA Mose Writes. On my writing account, you can follow along there and get updates about my current writing project. Or if you want updates but you don't want to be on Instagram, you can subscribe to my Substack. And I try to send out weekly updates, but they might turn into bi-weekly updates. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have an absolutely lovely rest of your day. Bye guys.